We got plenty of games to preview today around Major League Baseball, an 8-game Monday slate. But DRS, it starts very early. Patriots Day in Boston, Marathon Day in Beantown. So it's always a celebration on this Monday in Boston that includes inside Fenway Park. A first pitch schedule for just after 11 a.m. Eastern time, starting in about an hour between the Red Sox and the White Sox, ending out an extended 4-game weekend set. Boston looking to take 3 of 4 as a hefty home favorite today. Nearly a $3 money line favorite, minus 290. Total is 9. Quickly, DRS, just what do you expect in the early start to this Monday slate around Major League Baseball?
Another win for the Boston Red Sox. Cannon comes into the game only 18 and a third innings pitched this season, a 4.42 ERA, which isn't a disaster, but still not good. But an xFIP of closer to 5, he'll probably get himself into trouble. Walker Buehler's been okay to start this season, but also it's not about being okay. It's just looking at the lineup that leaves a lot to be desired for the Chicago White Sox as opposed to the Boston lineup. Now going up against Cannon today, who's a right-handed pitcher. You look at the first 6 guys anticipated in that lineup, weighted on base percentages against righties: 346, 349, 390, 326, 404, and 409. They've all done extremely well against right-handed pitching. It's a heavy price to pay here for the Boston Red Sox, but they'll win this baseball game.
The White Sox, DRS, only have 5 wins this year. Yeah, it's as bad as we expected. 5-16. 3 have come against the Red Sox. They're hoping to even up this 4-game set and look for a split today. Let's go to New York, inside Citi Field, where the Mets over the weekend swept the Cardinals in a 4-game set. The Phillies taking 2 of 3 this weekend as well. They meet up today. Battle, of course, between 2 teams we expect to contend for the NL East divisional crown this year. Philadelphia on the road, a very slight underdog, but Aaron Nola gets the start. Even money price on that money line, plus 100, minus 118 on the other side for the Amazons, who send out Tyler McGill. 8 is that total today, DRS. Up in Queens, what's the play?
Yeah, the Phillies blew a game yesterday, but also Saturday as well. Like, that bullpen has been chewed up and spit out. They hold on for an 11-10 victory, and they're up 11-4 in that game. And yesterday, a 4-1 lead against the lowly Marlins. The bullpen gives it up on a error that should have been called by Bryce Harper late in that game, but wasn't. They lose in extras yesterday. Now they head to New York. Now, if you're looking at old school numbers, like ERA-wise, they don't like Aaron Nola, but new school numbers and analytics, Aaron Nola isn't that bad. Case in point, Tyler McGill, 19 innings pitched this season, a 140 ERA, which is fantastic, and a 340 xFIP number, which is decent as well. Aaron Nola comes in at 21 2/3 innings pitched. His ERA close to 7, but his analytical number right next to Tyler McGill. So that should be interesting to find out. So for me, I look at the price point. I'm probably going to lean more towards the New York Mets, even though I'm cheering for the Phillies. Just don't like what I saw the past 2 days out of that bullpen, and maybe it is a close game late. Are you still going to trust that Phillies bullpen to get it done on the road? Right now, it looks like Francisco Lindor waking up. Juan Soto's there. Pete Alonso. Aaron Nola needs to reach back and give him one of those Aaron Nola starts that we know he has in him for the Philadelphia Phillies. But again, just based on the bullpen and what I saw this weekend, that's playing better baseball. Going to give the nod to the Metropolitans today at home up there at Citi Field.
Big weekend for Francisco Lindor. 2 home runs in the 4-game set in the 4-game sweep over St. Louis, and RBI in 3 of those 4 games. Speaking of the Redbirds, they stay on the road against an NL East foe. They take on the Atlanta Braves today. DRS, Atlanta, after the 0-7 start and a slow start extended this year, needs weekends like it just had against the Twins, who are off to a dismal and disappointing start this year. Minnesota now 7-15 after getting swept in Atlanta this weekend. The Braves needed that sweep, and they got it. Spencer Schwellenbach looking to bounce back after his worst start of the year last week. In Atlanta, a pretty hefty favorite with that idea in place. Minus 188 for the Braves at home. Total stands at 8.5 between the Redbirds and the Braves. What's the play today in the A?
Yeah, the Atlanta Braves certainly should be able to snap back once again at the plate. Heavy favorites in this game. They should be. You take a look at Eric Fetty on the mound, comes into this game, 4 starts on the season, 21 innings pitched, a 3.43 ERA, which is decent, but look at that xFIP number, 5.50. That means not enough strikeouts here, too many fly balls, too many walks, traffic on the bases. That could be an issue. You look at the first couple guys in the lineup. As a matter of fact, 1 through 6 in the lineup anticipated today for the Braves. That's Verdugo, Riley, Ozuna, Olsen, Albies, and Murphy. Each one of those guys high weighted on base percentages pitchers here, so you should think that they should hit Fetty tonight and should come away with a victory. And yes, I expect Schwellenbach to bounce back. Even with that bad start, still an ERA of 2.55 and an xFIP of 3.03. Better lineup for the Braves as it presents itself. Better pitcher on the mound for the Atlanta Braves. That should be a victory for them down in the Big A.
Yeah, it really should be, DRS. And if the Braves can go on a 4-game win streak, starting to find their way, maybe, just maybe, out of the cellar in the National League East. Right now, 8-13, a half game behind the Nationals for the worst record in that division. The San Diego Padres avoiding a sweep in Houston last night, stay on the road. They head to the Motor City to take on the Tigers, who won 3 of 4 in a 4-game set this weekend against their divisional mates in Kansas City. Had a lead late yesterday at home against the Royals. Looking for that sweep, KC responded, equalizing in the 8th, sending it to extras, and the Royals avoided that 4-game sweep in 10 innings against Detroit. The Tigers a favorite today, though, at home to take the opener against San Diego. What do you like today in the Motor City?
Yeah, Carter Montero, by the way, the lowest xFIP on the card. Now, granted, he only has 5 innings pitched, but get this. His xFIP is 2.45. His ERA been 9. So some of those analytics versus ERA at this early in the season sort of get discombobulated again when you take a look at so limited innings here. But also, having said that, you take a look at the lineup today for the Padres. Hasn't hit right into pitching all that well outside of Tatis, Machado, Sheets, and Bogarts. The rest of that lineup, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, has got to do a little bit more damage than what they've been doing. But how about this? Here's another interesting one with Randy Vasquez. He actually has 20 2/3 innings pitched on the season, Ben. A 1.74 ERA. His xFIP, the worst on the card, 6.31. So you figure he's just getting absolutely lucky. Not enough strikeouts, too many fly balls, too many walks. Sooner than later, it's going to catch up, and there's some pretty good batters in the lineup for Detroit that may be able to mount a spot here. So when most people say, wait a second, San Diego's so good on the road, keep in mind also that Sunday night baseball game on the road where you got to travel on the road. You're playing in cooler temperatures here when San Diego's used to playing in warmer temperatures. It makes sense for Detroit. I don't know if I trust their pitcher, but I'm going to say, like, Vasquez with that high xFIP, Detroit, maybe a team total should be in the works for you today, or at least some batting props from their perspective.
Yeah, game total in full in Detroit is at 8. A few more MLB games to preview on this Monday. Up next. Live right here on the early line on this Monday morning. He is Donnie right side. I am Ben Stevens. Still plenty of games to preview around MLB on this Monday. In Cleveland, an ALCS rematch from a postseason ago between the Guardians and the Yankees. New York enters today, a slight road favorite. They had a great weekend down in Tampa, winning 3 of 4 against the Rays. Minus 122, the price to back the Pinstripes today as a road favorite in Cleveland. Total at 8.5. The Guardians, a weekend sweep over the Pirates. DRS, Cleveland started 3-6. Pretty poor beginning to this season. They've won 9 of their last 12. They're above 500 once again in the American League Central. What do you like today in the ALCS rematch in Cleveland?
Yeah, Quan always seems like he's like a must bet each and every night. And yesterday, hitting a home run as well at a pretty good price point. But this game doesn't have 2 good pitchers in it, which is good. That's why we like offense, but also 63-degree temperatures. It is on the cooler side, but how about a wind blowing out to right field at double digits, which always helps. Now, granted, would help much more if that was in the Bronx at that short porch, but it's not. More pitcher-friendly Cleveland. But if we are looking at the 2 pitchers, only 1 start here on the season for Clark Schmidt, 5 2/3 innings pitching, ERA of close to 5, and the xFIP number of 5.67. But again, it's hard to extrapolate what those numbers actually are. 4 starts out of Gavin Williams and close to 20 innings pitched. He's also at a 4.5 ERA and a 4.34 xFIP number. You look at that Yankees lineup, which is so talented from top to bottom. Ben Rice at the top of the order, 326 ISO power number against right-handed pitching. We know what Aaron Judge can do. Bellinger and Goldschmidt, even though Goldschmidt's having a decent season, hasn't hit right-handed pitching all that well. Chisholm, Volpe, Wells, Grisham might be enough to overwhelm the starting pitcher in Gavin Williams. But if we take a look at the Cleveland batters going up against Clark Schmidt, you should get some damage done. And also, I love Cleveland, the versatility of that offense, because look at what we're expecting today. Right-handed pitchers, you want to stack as many lefties as you can get. Kwan, lefty. Ramirez, lefty. Manzardo, lefty. Santana, lefty. Jones, lefty. Naylor, lefty. Rocchio, lefty. Like, you might have 7 of 9 batters today that can flip the switch and go to the opposite side and bat against Clark Schmidt, where he's had some trouble against lefties today. So for my money, why not just look through a total in this game between both of these teams? 9 runs seems like a possibility. Both of these pitchers should be able to get hit today.
Yeah, Schmidt made his season debut last week in 2025. Was pretty good last year in 2024 for the New York Yankees. Pretty solid pitching matchup as well in Houston. The Astros will send out Hunter Brown, who has been great. Back-to-back shutout performances with 6 innings of work, a 1.50 ERA. As the Astros host the Blue Jays, Toronto sends out Kevin Gausman. A total of 7.5 today in H-Town. Donnie, as we look at a pretty short money line price, what are we seeing today in H-Town?
Yeah, tough loss last night for Houston, but I do think a bounce back is in order. Hunter Brown, one of my favorite young pitchers in baseball, 24 2/3 innings pitched through 4 starts this season. And we take a look at him at a 1.50 ERA and an xFIP number of 3.02, so it certainly does check out. But you are taking a look at those Houston bats, which aren't fantastic when you're looking to back up the Altuve average season, Isaac Paredes average season, Alvarez hasn't popped yet, and again, the 6, 7, 8, 9, even the 5 batters haven't done all that much. And under probably happens today, the 7.5 number, but I still do look for Houston. I think the better pitchers on the mound, even though the veteran Gausman is there, under in this game, lean towards Houston. How about that?
Yeah, Hunter Brown has been really, really good this year.
Yeah.
2-1 with that 1.50 ERA. DRS has not allowed more than 2 earned runs in any of the 4 starts he has made this year for the Astros. Houston looking to get their way back. They did win the weekend despite not being able to complete the sweep last night against the San Diego Padres, but the Stros still a game sub 500 at 10-11. Meanwhile, for the Toronto Blue Jays, they're 2 games above 500, 12-10. They trail the Yankees by 2 games in the race for the top spot in the American League East. The only 2 games of our 8 on this Monday around the bigs we have not highlighted. Our final one in San Francisco, the Giants and the Brewers. San Fran a slight moneyline favorite at home at -138. In the Reds, after scoring 24 runs, take their talents to South Beach to take on the Marlins. Cincy a slight favorite in Miami. DRS, a thought on either of those final 2 games to round out our Monday docket?
Yeah, the Cincinnati-Miami game is interesting to me because Cincinnati comes in as a favorite. We always love, like, hey, offensive explosion yesterday. We talked about 49 stats in that game, which was 24 runs and 25 hits, which is incredible, including a 15 for 25 runners in scoring position number. Now you take a look at the 8 there. It's a pure pitcher's ballpark, but also 2 pitchers coming in. Max Meyer, 4 starts, 24 innings pitched here for the Marlins. How about an ERA of 2.63 and an xFIP of 2.92? That checks out. Then you take a look at Lodolo on the opposite side, a low ERA of 2.31 and a slightly higher xFIP of 4.14. Even though we scored that many runs yesterday, and even Miami busted out with 7 against the Phillies, I think this game probably plays more towards an under based on that ballpark and the 2 lineups for these 2 pitchers.